Hello and welcome to the UWS News 3:30 Bulletin. I'm Ross Gilchrist. Chancellor of the Exchequer Philip Hammond is expected to announce an initiative to put driverless cars on British roads by 2021 in tomorrow's budget. Siobhan Dunn investigates.
Ahead of tomorrow's budget, Hammond has an objective of having fully driverless cars on the UK roads by 2021. We spoke to retired car salesman David Burns, who thinks autonomous cars is inevitable.
The major advantage, there'll be a big advantage for pedestrians. There'll be a big advantage with things like drink driving, drug driving. You're not going to get a car that drinks or takes drugs.
Although David suggests that irresponsible driving should be ruled out, he did say that taxi and lorry drivers would be initially nervous about losing their jobs. But a local lollipop man tells us he feels his job will be safer now and feels the roads could be safer.
Computers will be able to do a better job than some of them, to be honest. The decisions that some humans make is sometimes leads to error of judgment and causes accidents.
But Joe and Kathleen Hanley are quite optimistic about the move and have some questions about the government's proposal.
Well, I just wonder, could they not be investing in something that's got a higher priority than driverless cars? And how is it going to affect our roads, which are already busy and congested? How are driverless cars going to cope in these kind of situations?
But for now, humans will continue to control UK's vehicles and dominate the roads. I'm Siobhan Dunn, reporting for UWS Newsroom, Paisley.
Thanks, Siobhan. A new study has shown Scotland is losing its battle with alcohol. Leah Fabrini spoke to Patrick Doherty of Ad Action Kilmarnock.
Scotland has an emotional mental health problem disguised as an alcohol drug problem, and a poverty problem disguised as a criminal justice problem. So again, alcohol, drugs are used by people, like ourselves as well as others, to cope with certain situations.
Hi Leah. So the minimum pricing came in last. I was fine, and then I don't know.
Keep going. Sorry.
Hi Leah. So the minimum pricing came in last week. Did Patrick say that this would curb alcohol use?
Not quite. He suggested, of course, that cheaper alcohol prices can lead to serious gastric health problems, but it's just a quick fix to a deeper-rooted problem. So,
well, what is that bigger issue?
Well, he says that Scotland has a deep-rooted alcohol abuse issue, and obviously alcohol abuse is the cause of deeper-rooted personal, social issues.
So if changing pricing won't actually help, what can they do to fix it?
Well, you have to tackle the mental issues in the Scottish population, and yeah.
Ayr was treated to a world premiere of Schubert's song cycle Winterreise last night. Manuel Cardo spoke to the organisers and musicians who made it all possible.
Last Sunday, Ayr Town Hall received the premiere performance of Schubert's song cycle Winterreise. The event counted with soprano Pauline Graham and pianist Jonit Kozowski. We talked to the event's organiser, Marion de Bleek, to find out more.
In the Winterreise project, I was facilitator, really. I was asked by Pauline, the singer, who's a former student of ours, if I would facilitate, promote, and generally help with coaching a new project which she and her pianist, Jonit Kozowski, wanted to bring into being.
Merlin kickstarted the event with a small introduction to the history of the cycle.
Schubert, Franz Schubert, died on this day in 1828 at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So there's a very interesting coincidence. He was correcting the proofs of Winterreise almost up to the time of his death.
In the end, Marion de Bleek showed relief and a very proud smile.
It was a huge success, which was lovely. The numbers of people who came were very adequate and really rather exceeded my expectations. They were all interested.
Multiple sclerosis is worse in Scotland than in any other nation. Selina McLean has more.
11,000 Scots live with multiple sclerosis, a rate that is amongst the highest in the world. I meet with the local MS Society to see what's being done locally to support this.
Multiple sclerosis is the biggest condition, biggest disease, neurological disease, and it doesn't seem to get the same publicity. And one of the things we try to do here locally in Ayrshire is promote awareness of the condition, as well as trying to publicise the help that we can give people with the condition.
Never play up to it, fight it. That's what I've always done. MS is not going to beat me, darling. Never beat me.
Everybody can't be the same. Everybody's got their own shock, disappointment, getting over it, getting used to it.
And just to emphasise, we as a society throughout the whole of Ayrshire, we have no paid staff. We're run entirely by volunteers, and the support we've been running for over 40 years now, and the support we get from individuals in the community is tremendous. That's one of the reasons we can be quite generous with grants, and particularly helping young people with a special fund for bursaries for young people that are perhaps going on to college or perhaps trying to get their employment opportunities increased. So you would expect me to say this, but I think we do very well in terms of supporting. We can always do better, but we certainly do very well.
The rates of MS are increasing each year. There is support available locally to help those affected. Selina McLean, UWS News.
Thanks, Selina. 3 Glasgow sculptors are bringing their work to Ayr. The exhibition held at Maclaurin Gallery opens on Sunday. Here's Susie Patterson with the details.
This morning at the Maclaurin Gallery at Rozelle, I joined Catherine Hanna and Chris Hargan, 2 graduate sculptors from Glasgow School of Art, as they began to unpack and prepare for a new exhibition.
I think I won something, but I can't really remember. I was probably quite young.
How many pieces will be on display here?
There's loads of pieces of myself and other sculptors working on it, so there'll be quite a few.
And are you hoping to sell any of your work?
Yeah, almost all the work's for sale, so yeah, it's an opportunity to get emerging artists' work.
What is that?
It's a corn snake. That one.
Oh, that's nice.
It's on a block of microcrystalline wax, and this is bronze cast of coins. This piece was more of a springbok horn with some nice tanga is the sort of wood name, and acrylic and brass sort of frame.
The exhibition runs from Sunday the 26th of November through till the 7th of January.
Thanks, Ross. Ayr United drew Arbroath in yesterday's Scottish Cup 4th round draw. Our reporter Stuart Reid spoke to Ayr United commercial manager Graham Miller.
Ayr United were drawn against Arbroath in yesterday's Scottish Cup draw. I came to Somerset Park to speak to commercial manager Graham Miller to get his thoughts on the draw.
A home tie's positive. I guess as a fan, you never particularly want to draw a team that's in the same league. You know, that 4 times a season now becomes 5, eventually 6, who knows. So, you know, I guess from that side it's maybe not exciting would be the word, but yeah, it's also not going to be money spinning, but gives us a very good chance to get through to the next round, and you know, from that point of view, yeah, it's positive, yeah.
He then went on to talk about the financial advantages of the Cup and this particular draw.
Had you offered me Celtic away, you know, right now there's no other tie that would have wanted, yeah. I mean, yeah, of course that would probably have meant going out the Cup, but at the same time financially that would have probably paid for our entire season. So from a financial point of view, probably Rangers away as well would have given us an extremely good footing for this season. So we've got a winnable tie. They've already beaten us here this season, so it's certainly no gimme. But
he also spoke about what a cup run would mean for his club's league campaign.
It's a difficult one. I mean, sometimes I think if you go on a big cup run, people say it can maybe hinder your league chances. But we're on a great run just now. 9 games unbeaten or something like that. We've scored 60 odd goals in 20 games. So I don't think having extra games right now is going to hinder us.
That was Graham Miller talking about yesterday's Scottish Cup draw. The ties will be played the weekend of the 20th of January. I've been Stuart Reid, UWS News, Somerset Park.
Thanks, Stuart. Other notable ties of the round include Highland League side Fraserburgh will host managerless Rangers, Motherwell will take on Hamilton Academical in a Lanarkshire derby, and Hearts tackle Hibs in the Edinburgh derby. On Tuesday suggest that the Portuguese centre-back refused to take a place on the bench for Rangers' match against Hamilton on Saturday. Interim manager Graham Murty could not find room for him in his starting 11, after which Alves allegedly refused to sit on the bench. Jan Spans has more. So Jan, why would Alves have acted in such a manner?
Well, he was obviously brought in with quite a big reputation because Bruno Alves was part of the Portugal squad that won Euro 2016. And under former manager, his compatriot Pedro Caixinha, he would be assured of more playing time. But since Caixinha got sacked, they have had Graham Murty in as interim manager, and he has not really been able to give him the same amount of playing time. He obviously got sent off. He didn't get sent off, he got suspended for something he did against Motherwell in the semi-finals of the Betfred Cup. But once he was back available for the game against Partick Thistle, Murty couldn't find room in his back four for him, playing Ross McCrory and Danny Wilson instead. And he kept faith in the same back four, which meant Bruno Alves was supposed to sit on the bench, and that is not something he has apparently taken too well to.
And what do you think is next for Bruno Alves at Rangers then after this?
Well, he's obviously signed a 2-year deal. He's turning 36 next Monday, so and apparently he is on quite a hefty sum in terms of wages every week. So it would be very hard to see any other club coming forward and taking him away from Ibrox. So the club and the player are kind of stuck with each other. It is obviously crucial in this situation who the new manager at Ibrox will be. There's not been an announcement made about that, but that is very, very important, because Bruno Alves at 35 still brings stuff to the table that not a lot of players in Scotland have. He's won the league in Russia, he's won the league in Portugal, he's won the league in Turkey, he's won the European Championships, so that experience could be used and could be very useful, provided obviously that Bruno Alves keeps his temper from now.
Motherwell have appointed Eddie Walecki Black as their new ladies team manager. Motherwell's Chief Operating Officer Alan Burrows added, "I'm absolutely delighted to welcome Eddie to the club and believes it's a huge coup for us to get him here." That's all from us today, and we'll see you again soon.